because here, I'm just going to go back. So today our topic is wacky weather. Wacky means crazy, and these are our objectives. So I just wanted to do that for the students that aren't here, because some people missed it this week. So would you tell me what you think about Canada's weather? Just one thing. Daniela, just one thing about Canada's weather.
It is cold.
Yeah, a lot of people think of Canada and think of cold, right? Okay. So so notice that the W's in the sentence that are in red: would, what, whether, and one. And one. Would, what, whether, and one. Let's try those words, okay? Would.
Oh,
What?
What.
what?
Whether.
Weather.
One.
One.
You'll notice that the W sound, the W sound, which is represented in red, is usually written with a W letter, but not always, right? Sometimes one is actually, you know, it's the same word as WON, like I won the game. And so sometimes it's not represented by the letter W. So are any of these sounds difficult, or any of these words more difficult than others? Yeah, I know this is a really big one for Lillian. Sorry, Lillian, I don't mean to, I did this lesson for you, basically. So, any,
Yes,
I know.
yes, I agree.
This is for you. Any words that are harder than others here? Are they all easy for you, or, yeah? Yeah, I you know, this is the third time that I've taught this, and what I found is that some people really struggle with this and some people don't. Okay, so we have many words with a W sound in English. So let's do an experiment. Let's see how many you can think of for 1 minute. Okay, so I have a timer on the screen. For 1 minute, I want you to write down as many W words connected to weather as you can. So everybody has pen and paper, I hope. Yeah. Okay. So here's some examples, of course, winter, wind. So anything, don't edit yourselves, just write down any words. So 60 seconds starting now. All right, so that's 60 seconds. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you into breakout rooms, and I'd like you to share these words together. 2, 4, 6, okay, 3 rooms. It's just for 3 minutes. Pay attention to your partner's pronunciation of the W sound and help them if you can. And then we'll do some, we'll discuss those words and I will hear your W words and help you. Okay, so I'm just going to pause. Welcome back. Who wants to practice this for us? Any volunteers?
I can.
Okay, go ahead, Carlos.
Just a minute. I need to
Oh,
take out my glass.
Okay, make sure you kiss every time you say a W.
Okay.
Okay,
Weather report.
good.
There is a weather warming in place for locations west of London, including Kilworth, West Lorne, and Stratford. A winter storm is expected to start at 1 p.m. and continue until the evening. Driving conditions will be wet and slippery. Be careful.
Very good, very good. So, excuse me. So Kilworth.
Kilworth.
Yeah, now it's hard when the
Kilworth.
W is in the middle of the word because you have to
Yeah.
move your lips together. And
Yeah.
what about west? West,
West.
okay, west. Any, that was
West.
great, Carlos. Any questions about this?
No.
Okay,
No,
anybody
it's
else
okay.
have any questions about this? No? Okay, let's move on. Okay, I want to give you more practice. So I need 2 volunteers to read this dialogue about weather. And there's some new vocabulary here that I will explain. Who wants to read?
I can read.
Okay, and,
I can do it.
okay, go ahead. Okay, Rodrigo, you start, please.
What's going on with the weather today? I'm worried about driving.
Well, it says here that it will be wet and wind today.
What's the temperature like? Is it expected to freeze?
Maybe. Why don't we head out early before the weather hits? What do you think?
That sounds good. Winter is wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. Excellent, excellent
it is.
pronunciation. I know, excellent pronunciation. There's some expressions that here that you might not know that I'd like to review with you. You might know these, you might not. So the first one is this expression, what's the temperature like? What's the temperature like? For those of you who are preparing to take IELTS, I know some of you will be taking IELTS. It's like Juliana, I'm helping her right now with IELTS. This is a very common question in part 1, and you will hear it in English all the time. What the combination of what and like. What does it mean? What's the temperature like? How would you say it in Portuguese?
Qual a temperatura?
Qual é? Qual
And
da
if you were translating it, it would be how,
How?
right?
How? Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like I said, my Portuguese is very bad, but I know this. Okay. So the combination of what and like means how in your language. And this is used all the time. People say, oh, what's it like outside today? Or, what is Sao Paulo like? Or, what is your city like? Or, it'll be like, we say this all the time. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to tell you. The second thing I wanted to teach you here is this expression, we head out. Why don't we head out earlier? Why don't we head out earlier? Now, head is this, okay, head out earlier, but it doesn't mean this. What does it mean? Does anybody know? Head out.
Go out.
Leave.
Go out. Yeah, it just means to go. It means to go. Very common phrasal verb used in English. People say this all the time. Often when they're talking about leaving for some sort of event. Okay. Why don't we head out earlier? The third one is before the weather hits. Before the weather hits. Now, hit is like this, okay? But we use this to talk about weather quite a bit. And does anybody know what it means when the weather hits?
Comes. Arrives.
Arrives.
Yeah. Now, do we use this with all weather? Has anybody heard this? Do we use this with all weather or just some weather? Does anybody know?
Storms and like this.
Yeah, exactly. We use this for unexpected events. Okay, so it could be weather. I mean, we use, you probably, if you listen to the news in English, you would have heard this about COVID, before COVID hits. Let's get our vaccine. Thank you, Rodrigo. Let's get our vaccine before COVID hits us hard. Okay, so or let's go out before the storm hits. Okay, so this is a common expression to talk about extreme events that are not that expected, unexpected. Okay, so here I have the new vocabulary on the top of the screen. What like means how, head out means leave, weather hits, oh, I didn't write what it means, but it means unexpected event. Okay, so if you want to remember those things, you can take a picture. You will also have the PowerPoints later in the week, well, tomorrow, actually, okay? Any questions about that?
Okay.
Any questions? You guys are really quiet today. I don't get it.
No, no, no.
Okay, so now I want you to make a new dialogue. Well, not a dialogue. I just want you to talk. Okay, so in the previous classes, I've asked you to make a conversation, which you didn't do, by the way. So this time, I just want you to talk. I want you to compare the weather in two places. So it could be in Sao Paulo and London. It could be in Florianopolis and London. It could be whatever you want. So it could be your two cities in Brazil, but I do want you to speak in English. And
Okay.
make sure every time you say the "w" sound, you kiss, okay? W. All right, so here is a way to start that conversation and practice the vocabulary. What is the weather like in Florianopolis? Okay, what is the weather like in Sao Paulo? What is the weather like in London? And then you would say it's windy, windy. Okay, so if you want, you can take a picture of this if you don't have to, if you don't want to. And I'm going to give you 6 minutes to chat because I was told 10 minutes was too long. So we're going to try 6 minutes to chat. And I know that will go fast for you. And I'm going to mix up the groups again. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so. All right, so was that fun? Did you talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Carlos and Carlos, what did you talk about?
You talk about the weather in Birigui, my home city.
Oh, how do you
São
say
Pa-
it, Carlos?
Birigui.
BD.
It's a, yeah, it's a city in São Paulo state.
Yeah, BD.
And
Oh my God.
yeah, and you talked about the weather in Manaus and in Manaus and São Paulo.
Okay, so one of the things that you'll notice that is with pronunciation, it's really hard to change how you speak. So you might do perfectly fine when I'm saying repeat after me, but then you will go back to your old habits. Okay. And one of the most common things that happens is for words that you say quite a bit, you might come back and start saying them the wrong way. So this is exactly what happened with you, Carlos. We. Yeah, we talked about. So part of what I'm doing is to give you an awareness that
Okay.
that you do this when you start talking fluently, because that's what everybody does. And how do you know? Okay, now we is particularly difficult because it sounds like he, and then it will confuse people, right? If you say we and it sounds like he to a fluent English ear, people will
Okay.
be confused. So some mistakes are, more confusing than others.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we.
We.
Yeah.
We.
Okay, Daniela, what did you talk about?
We talked about Florianopolis and São Paulo, the differences and how works
Narratives.
there. Yeah.
I
Even
want
though it's in the same region,
yeah,
it's
is it? Yeah.
it's in the south, like kind of, but it's not the same place. So, but it's kind of the same.
I saw pictures. Well, I mean, Lillian has shown me pictures of
It's amazing. Yeah,
Florianopolis. I'm sure I'm not saying it correctly. And
yeah,
it's,
you're saying correctly.
oh, wow. It's so beautiful. I hope to visit one day. One day. I'm working on it.
Yeah, not in the summer, during the summer. It's so crowded.
No. We were going to maybe go in the winter. In the winter. That was the idea, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, Lillian and Mia, what did you talk about? Lillian? What did you talk about?
Talk about Florianopolis and São Paulo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because Mia's in Sao Paulo. Yeah. that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your daughters live in Canada.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Mia. Where is your daughter? Where is she living?
One daughter lives in Toronto and the other in Calgary.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you've been to Canada then, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, many times.
And are you planning on moving to Canada?
No, moving, no, I only visit.
Okay, well, good. Well, we'd like you. If you want to come, live here, then we like you. All right. So just for the last few minutes, I just want to talk about one more problem word, okay, that with the W sound. And so here's a picture of a beautiful woman in a sari. So what word is missing? This is a picture of a
Woman.
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 Okay, a woman. Woman. Okay, woman. And we will practice this in a minute. We'll practice this in a minute because this is always said incorrectly. And it sounds like all different things to my ear. Okay, now if there is 2 or 3, this is, what do you see here? Having a nice time. Women.
Woman.
Yeah, women. Okay, so the spelling does not help pronunciation at all. Okay, so some of this is a combination of the w sound at the beginning and the rest of the word. Okay, so I have it written in red. Now the one woman, now that little symbol is not a Portuguese accent. It's the symbol we use in pronunciation to represent the sound like in wood. Okay, so this is one woman. Repeat, one woman.
Woman.
Woman. Yeah.
Woman.
So make sure you say the wa. So you have to pucker, and then the rest of it is woman. Okay, one woman.
Woman.
Okay, let's do the whole thing. One woman.
One
Woman.
Many women.
Many
women.
Let's do that again. One woman.
One woman.
Many women.
Many women.
Right. So this is the reason I'm doing this is because some of my students say it sounds like human, right? Human. And of course, human sounds like human. And so women and woman and human are both nouns. So it's very confusing to the listener. Okay, so as we said before, sometimes the W sound, if you're speaking quickly, you don't make that, you make an H, what it sounds like an H sound or a V sound. But I've often heard this and I think, oh, did they say human or women? Okay, so that's why I'm doing this. This is a common problem for Portuguese speakers. So let's just practice this one more time. One woman.
One woman.
Many women.
Many women.
Okay, I'm going to call each one of you and ask you to say this. And I'm not trying to embarrass you. I just want to check your pronunciation. Carlos?
One woman, many women.
Very good. Carol?
One woman, many women.
Very good. Juliana?
One woman, many women.
Woman.
Woman,
Very good. Woman.
woman.
Woman. So the sound is not an a. It's a very relaxed woman.
Woman,
Very good. Daniela?
One woman, many women.
Good. Rodrigo?
One woman, many women.
Good.
Women.
Lillian?
One woman, many human.
Gotcha. Women. Women. Yeah. So I think it's because you don't say this very often. You know, you would more talk about one person than many. So women.
Women.
Okay, try that again.
One woman, many women.
Very good. Mia?
One woman, many women.
Very good. Okay. All right. So we're almost out of time. So I just would like some feedback from you. Was this sound hard for you, and why or why not? So let me ask Carol.
Was the sound? I think no. I think I have no problem with W sound.
Okay. Mia?
I'm okay.
So I'm just wondering, when I wrote the course, I included this because some of my students had trouble with the W sound. And then I thought, well, maybe I should take it out of the course. Like, did you find any value in this lesson? Like, should I take it out? I guess is what I'm asking you. Do you think I
I
should?
think it's value.
It is. I
Value.
think there is value. Okay, so maybe not as much as the TH sound, which
Exactly.
everybody has a problem.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so maybe I'll put more stuff on the TH, but it's still quite valuable, you think? Okay, all right.
Sherry, I was saying to Lillian that I think the problem is with some words, it's not about the W sound, it's the second letter after the W sound. For example, the woman and women, because it's O for everything, you think that it's the same letter. So I'm not sure if it's about the W, but the letter that comes after the W.
So you think it's about the
It's,
WO?
it's woman and women. So because you read O, you think that is the same sound.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, Sherry, Daniela helped me about this because the other words, I believe, is not difficult. Wife,
Yeah.
wine, but the specific word.
Right. And I agree, Daniela. These words are problems for every language group. And you're right, this is not about the pronunciation, it's about that spelling doesn't tell you how to say it. So it's
Yeah.
about the stupid spelling, right? So, and this has been, anybody who's had lessons from me knows that I spend a lot of time saying that you can't learn to speak from reading. You just
Yeah.
can't, because spelling is there's no pattern to spelling. It doesn't help you speak.
And
yeah.
we have the W sound. I have a Turkish friend, and
Yeah.
she has, for her, V is W. So for
Absolutely.
she can't say virus. She says
No.
virus.
I know.
And I can understand her many times and say, you are saying wrong. It's not virus, it's virus.
It's not Sharife, is it?
No, it's a leaf. I know
Oh,
Sherry. She studied with me, Sherry.
I know Sharife, but Sharife was with you, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Yes, and she has the same problem, right?
No.
So, yeah, anyway, I agree. But so again, this is a pronunciation class. So it's not all about, pronunciation is about saying together, is saying the words in a way that people understand. So I'm trying to think, okay, so what words do people have trouble with? And I think with the W sound, it's more about, as I said, recognition that this is a W sound and about this word is pronounced this. And that's part of what you think of as pronunciation. But you're right, it's not really about production of the sound. It's about knowing to produce that sound. Okay. So, and I agree with you, but I think what you've told me is to keep it into the course. Okay.
I just remembered the sound. It's not about the really the W sound, but the word world. Everybody
Borrowed?
has problems.
Is it borrowed?
World. No, world.
World. Oh, I
Yeah.
know. I know. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
World. And in fact, I had it in one of the lesson, and I'm hoping that we're be able to do some more practice with this. If you remember, I gave you a trick with that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
World, dividing it into two. But yeah, absolutely. And I didn't put it in this lesson, Rodrigo, because we had talked about it before, right? So, okay, anyway, next week. Okay, so here's what's going to happen, just to let you know, just a reminder that you can come to any of the 3 classes. Many of you have come to more than one. I love that. It's great practice for you. 1 hour is not enough time to change your pronunciation. I can tell you that. I will post the PowerPoints and practice PowerPoint specifically for you. The practice PowerPoint has audio in it. So it has both words and sentences and an audio where you can say it and repeat it. Now, unfortunately, you don't get any feedback on that, but it is, I'm trying to help you after class. So that is in the WhatsApp group. So make sure you look at that group, because I spent a lot of time making these things. Okay. So please use it. And if you have any feedback, like if I made a mistake, please let me know. Next week, we're going to move on to vowel sounds, which are actually harder for Brazilians. And we're going to start with the sound, that I talked about today. And our theme will be wild animals, which is just funny. I mean, not like you talk about wild animals all the time, but it's funny. So we're going to talk about the sound. Now, this is for some of you who went to my sip and chat. We've done this before, so some of it is a repeat, but I think it's a problem for pronunciation, because there's a and a oo, and they look the same. So you need to know which one to say. Okay, the and the oo. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And I will see you next week. All right. Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 See you.
Sherry, bye.
Bye-bye.
Sherry,
I see it.
on Tuesday,
Yeah.
Thursday. Tuesday is my citizenship ceremony.
Really?
Really.
Oh my
Finally.
God, you're kidding. That's so